Understanding spawn selection. Let's start with two broad variables that are considered when picking spawns. First one, strengths and weaknesses. For example, two-story Moonlit itself is not a great area, but two-story is an amazing structure for someone like Lawyer because they can see through walls whereas hunters cannot. Players actively attempt to empower strengths and minimize weaknesses. Second, counter matchups. These are usually universally understood, such as Prospector being weak versus Ingrid but actually works well versus Ivy. This really comes down to studying your opponent, but it is almost impossible to fully counter a Hunter pool. Now, obviously, there's more to it than just these two, like comfort, like unique strategy, but these are the main two, and it's important to know that we're basically talking about theory in this stage of the game. And that's what you'll see when we start coming up with different spawns on different maps.
Once again, we're on Lakeside, right? We're on Lakeside, and I guess to start off, we'll show the possible survivors position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the most obvious ones, and obviously you can't do all of these in one game, but there are variations of these, and I guess we'll go over a few of them very fast. How do I? Damn, I gotta do it that way. Damn. Okay. So let's just start off with this one, and this actually occurred versus me in Koa 6, where I went Dream Witch into this, and this was the first time I ever discovered this one, and I'm gonna show you why survivors do this, or why hunters spawn here, or here, or here, here, here. These are all the possible hunter positions. This is very unlikely, all of these um, basically have an equal chance. Now, let's remove hunters for a second. Why does this make sense? You're spawning survivors in kiting areas that have ciphers immediately. That is the whole point. Now, what is the caveat to this? Hunters can just spawn right next to you, right next to you. And instead of you literally rotating, you're working with the area that you're in already. Now, the beauty of spawn selection is that you can really practice these spawns religiously, and you can practice your routes religiously. Like this is why this spawn has evolved from this to the entire straight line. If you guys remember, there was a Koa 6 straight line, just straight line. So it's evolved to master your routes on these spawns, these specific spawn locations. Now, obviously, these spawn locations are the best kiting areas on the map: big boat, shack, and small boat. These areas. Now, I guess it's important to know rotation when you are doing this spawn. Um, Once again, this is a cipher rush spawn, like you're cipher rushing. So, first off, let's start by what character spawn where. Now, obviously, these three boxes, typically, it's a rescuer because there is jack shit to kite here. There's nothing to kite here. So it's always the rescuer. So the rescuer can really bounce between these three boxes in terms of spawning. Now here you spawn here because you spawn right on a cipher if it's possible. Sorry, if you get the layout, the cipher layout. So you either do big rock or you can either do docks, you just do the cipher here, or you go just middle. You just go middle. And hunters never chase rescuers, so that's one thing. Now obviously, as I said, you learn to kite in these areas, but it's important to also know the rotations. The hunter spawns here. Um, this survivor will probably do docks or shore, because big boat's blocked. This survivor will stick here or go middle. And Now, this obviously depends, right? This is assuming that the hunter goes here or here. So if the hunter spawns here, they're likely coming one of these two ways. It's very rare they go fucking cross country for a survivor in big boat, near big boat. So let's say they spawn here. It's very simple. This person does this cipher, or they do this cipher, or they do that cipher. You know, there's a lot of options. They're pretty close, and depending on where this person is decoding, it allows this person to maybe go small boat. Otherwise, they'll probably kite shack, pretty certainly kite shack, and then they can either go small boat or they can go crab shack shore, which obviously it depends on where this person is, right? They can also go big boat. Big boat is blocked, so it's a viable kiting area. You just have to be careful of the other ciphers that are being done. That's quite simple. Now, I mean, if the survivor spawns here, um, all you do is literally this person stays here, decodes cornfield or shack, and then this person kites just this area. They kite this area. They kite around small boat. They use these walls. They go to walls, pallets, windows, and they stay in this area because it is quite a strong area in general. In general, everything else stays the same. Now, obviously, you want to place your best characters, in the ideal places. Now, I brought up strengths and weaknesses because a weakness of this map is it's big. Naturally, Cypher Rush is reduced. So how did the pros compensate? They started spawning in specific areas and they learned to kite here instead of everyone being in a line protecting each other so that they're not right on someone. So once again, um, you can vary the spawn. Let's say the rescuer spawns here. Then it depends on where the hunter spawns. This is quite a typical spawn. But if a rescuer ever spawns here, you can look at it as a way of protecting this person. That's a way to look at it because they can't spawn right next to them. If naturally, if the hunter does not spawn right next to the box of a survivor, they're farther. That's just how it is. So naturally, the hunter, if they decide here, they're farther from the big boat survivor. That's just how it is. Now, obviously, what are strengths and weaknesses of this, right? This person has to be able to kite. That this the point of the spawn. These spawns is that the rescuer can just go middle or big rock for ciphers, or crab shack. Honestly, that's possible, but they do those ciphers. This person at the same time protects big boat, right? And then once again, if big boat's blocked, the person here always goes shore or docks, whichever one. These two have to be able to kite. These are the main targets, um, and they have to be prepared with their route because once again, they're accepting the fact that they're spawning right next to the hunter, so that naturally they're closer. They're probably not gonna be able to hide, and so they have to be able to kite. That's the point. Less rotations, you're less likely uh, you're more likely to be found, and so you have to be able to kite. And this is all for improved cipher rush. That's really the way to look at it. Now, same thing. Right here, this is probably the rescuer. Because if a hunter spawns here and you're a fucking a seer, bro, you're cooked. So it cooks rotations. There's a reason why rescuers spawn here. This is minimizing a weakness of the map, guys. The rescuer spawns here or here because there's really no kiting area there, but typically you don't want to chase a rescuer because of how strong they are, um, if they are to get chased. So if it's a rescuer, they're probably not going to run into the survivor. Whereas if this is a seer, they probably have to run here for a good kiting area, which is running into someone and forcing them to rotate here into maybe another survivor, or they have to go into this awful corner. Sorry, that was an awful arrow. So now we see how rescuers minimize the weaknesses of the map. Now, once again, let's go back to what I was saying. If you're spawning here, sorry, a rescuer is spawning here, you're probably protecting this person. And that's because it doesn't really matter for Shack. It really doesn't matter. If you spawn here or here as a hunter, to the person that's doing Shack, it does not matter that much. So the main purpose would be for this person, because if a hunter spawns here, they almost immediately see the survivor, so they're accepting the kite. Once again, spawning right next to the survivor. Now, how could this benefit this survivor? Um, there's probably only one spawn that they have to deal with, that they have to learn. And not only that, but a hunter going to this survivor, they have to go around all these motherfucking walls. These, you gotta go like this. What happened to my mouse? They gotta go like that to reach their spawn location. So they're rotating pretty well, but also staying in a good area. It's the same if they decide to take a different route. They're literally taking a fucking detour. Now they arrive at the small boat ramp, and this person can probably just be here, be here. They could be hiding back here. So there's a lot of more room for that survivor. And that is why the rescuers spawning here would help the survivor a lot. Because this is the only likely spawn. And once again, even if the survivor hunter goes to the shack survivor, it probably does not make a difference. Because they're probably still only gonna wanna kite shack. Or they could rotate immediately. It is truly up to them. You just have to be careful once again of cipher what ciphers are being done in the match. Because once again, uh, spawn here, big boat's blocked. Spawn here, big boat's blocked. Spawn here, big boat's blocked. So that is some good stuff right there. Very good stuff. Let's go over if the hunter spawns here. The hunter spawns here. A number of things can happen with the cipher rush, but once again, the merc or the whatever rescuer will just do middle or crab shack or big rock, but most likely middle, right? Obviously, these two boxes causes them to rotate a lot more. Um, Thunder spawns here. They're probably looking into a comp and like, okay, this my kiter will spawn here, and then they'll probably just chase. They'll probably just chase. And so the Cypher Rush is just normal, really. It's normal. Like this person will always begin to decode instantly unless they're chased, which probably will happen if they spawn here. Well, these are the rotations, guys. I think you guys understand why, you know, people spawn where. Um, we do have a few more though. We have a few more. What if the hunter spawns here or here, right? So let's start with this one. Now, obviously, this is blocked if you spawn here. The person here just decodes instantly. The person here just decodes instantly. The person here gives callouts and probably does middle or big rock. This person here must usually go this way. Usually. They really don't have another choice. Going here is they're throwing the match. This is their only choice. Going here, Crab Shack or Shore for a cipher. And that would be how rotations are. Now, what if the hunter spawns here? There is a chance that the only cipher is here and it's blocked. That would be the point of the spawn. And the hunter can really choose what they want. They probably will not go all the way there for them. By the way, there is a chance that the cipher is there and it is not blocked. So this is a risk that the hunters are taking. But if a hunter spawns here, they likely want to chase this survivor or chase this survivor. Once again, this person does the same thing as I mentioned before. Same thing in terms of cipher rush. Same thing if they're not chased, but they're likely getting chased, which in that case they have to work with Shack. And they can probably go here if the cipher is blocked, but yeah, this person might actually have to do middle. And then this survivor either goes Crab Shack or Big Rock. That's the most optimal cipher rush if this cipher is blocked. So in that case, if this is open and no one's decoding here, this person can go here. But if this cipher is being worked on instantly, which is good for cipher rush, and they screwed the hunter's plan, they can just decode. They just decode, and this person has to work on kiting here. And probably their only choice of route is going back into the hunter spawn, which means that it has to be careful of the hunt if the rescuer decides to decode this area. So this is really how it's gonna work on Lakeside. It has evolved from it's evolved from this entire line. People decided to stop rotating, and you guys decide, sorry, the pros decided to spawn in already good areas and learn to just kite there. Rescuer spawns here, make up for the weakness of the map, that the fact that nothing is there. There's no kiting area in these boxes, bro. And then these two very good kiting areas, kiters will spawn here. And same with Big Boat. And I think that's almost gonna cover everything. I think the only thing I have not covered is the spawn, which this was probably the next evolution of spawns on Lakeside. Instead of the straight line, you spawn some with Shack, because people like kiting Shack right. So once again, probably the most common hunter spawn was this. Big boat's blocked. Once again, when big boat's blocked, the survivor goes here or here. Shack, you just do Shack if the hunter chases. You kite there, you kite Shack, and usually this person would be a rescuer. Why? because the hunter is almost blocking off this area. You cannot kite here. You're not spawning here. The hunter is spawning here. So it's very risky for a normal kiter to spawn here because the instinct will not be to run into them to use this kiting area. The instinct will be to run away and rotate, which screws a lot if you think about it. You know, the cipher, especially with this person, they're gonna want to do middle, or they're gonna want to do crab shack or big rock. So ideally, the merc is here. The rescuer is there. They make callouts for the team, and then this person just rotates. This person can rotate to big rock. They can rotate to crab shack. They can also rotate to big boat, but that does screw Cypherish. But this one is very uncommon, and we'll just recap. The most common spawn are these. These are the most common spawns. Now, how do we really apply counter matchups in this? How do we apply counter matchups? You have to assume that the the weakest kiter is probably big boat because they have a chance that they won't kite and that they'll hide. So that's why hunters take the chance and spawn here to spawn closer. But usually you spawn the kiter there. These two spawns, you're likely to get kited. Sorry, chased. So that's what you're accepting when you spawn here and people do this at first spawn. You're accepting the kite, and usually you want to take the chance on your weakest kiter to not get chased, so that your stronger kiters get chased. And that's really the mindset when it comes to strengths and weaknesses of the map, these kiting areas, and then rescuer spawning, minimizing the weakness of these awful areas that there's nothing to kite here. And that's really how you apply those principles. This map is mainly a rotation map because the kiting areas here are not that strong. So, so we're just gonna start with the potential ones. I mean, it's here for survivors. Actually, no, not corner house. No, I don't think I've ever seen a survivor spawn corner house, but no one spawns here. No one spawns here, and usually corner house is left open. So there's definitely a lot of potential here. There's a lot of different spawns you can do. We'll go over the typicals that we see a lot. Here is the L. Um, someone spawns here, usually a weak kiter or a kiter that wants to be protected for another reason, such as tide turner or whatnot. So they're given the strongest area in this map. Um, Now I guess let's see how survivor hunters can spawn here. These are the typical spawns, these three. By the way, I did say typically the weakest kiter spawns here, but they can also spawn here because in a way it's protecting them from ever getting chased. It's very hard to for a hunter to spawn here or here and find this survivor. It's actually quite difficult. So it's something that a team might want to do. Now, I guess let's just go over what happens if they spawn here. So, I mean, usually the rescuer's middle. Usually they'll just call out where the hunter's going. if the hunter goes here. That's if the hunter goes here. Now, usually, not usually, in the beginning of the game, they might want to go here for this target. Now, this is when this person calls out where he's going. And then that's when, if he goes down here, then the survivor can just go still to corner house or go to bushes and just decode there. And then this person probably does middle. Or they might want to do rotate out or this way, whichever way is viable. And they might end up on this blocked cipher, or they might end up on this cipher decoding it or doing middle as a whole. So the person middle will stay middle if it's possible, but this person needs a cipher and they're forced this way. So the middle person might have to do this cipher or cut into where they spawned or go bushes to compensate for it. And obviously this person up here, they most likely will not, they won't they won't stay in these boxes. They should either go corner house or they could also do bushes as well. They can also do bushes as well. Um, that's pretty much it for that rotation. Um, once again, in terms of strengths and weaknesses, a weakness is this kiter might be very weak. They don't want to get chased, so they spawn there. It's a way to protect them. It really is. And they're not likely to spawn here, so this somewhat protects them. And the person middle is probably a rescuer, and then the person here is probably just a regular kiter wanting corner house, which is fine. Now, what if the hunter goes here? Now, once again, if a hunter goes here to middle, they're very unlikely to look for this person because it's not probable. It just isn't. So this person just decodes. Um, this person decodes. This person just keeps an eye out, keeps their distance, and calls out where they're going precisely. And usually, if a survivor hunter goes here, they want to go to corner house, the person that spawned up here. So usually, their route would just be you go this way and kite. And this person here, as I showed with the rotation, they will probably just do the same thing. Or since I'm not actually going through OP corner this time, they can go cut in as well. And this person can also rotate to the spawn where I spawned. So there's a lot of variations that can be done, but it's not too complicated. It really isn't. I think the easiest rotation is if two ciphers spawn middle on Chinatown, which is doable. It's doable. It's quite easy. I meant not doable, possible. Now, what if the spawns here? All right, because it's another comment. Also here is common as well. We'll stick with Cornhouse for now. Obviously, this cipher, ideally, that cipher's blocked. Now, let me actually fix that because that's not the right way to portray it. A cipher's blocked here. Now, the risk with this is the hunter is taking a chance that only one cipher spawns here. And if that's the case, then this person here has to rotate above and decode hood because no one's there. Now, obviously, um, hunters you most likely will chase here because this is their closest target. Once again, um, Cornhouse is blocked no matter what. It's just a matter of if there's one, is there one or two? Now, I mean, there's multiple ways to go about the rotation. Sorry. If there's two ciphers here, that means one's blocked. That means one is available. So a rotation that is possible is this person always, not always, this person goes OP corner and this person does hood. And that's a smooth rotation. Now, obviously, this has to reflect, this has to, this person has to be on the same page. If that's the case, going here is not viable whatsoever. the game is destroyed if that occurs. So they would have to kite here, maybe loop back, go here, maybe go here, or they can um they can loop here and work on getting to corner house depending on where the hunter goes. Now, once again, another possible rotation is, let's just say there's still two ciphers. This person can just stay here, and once again, this person rotates to here, which means there's most likely a cipher there. Most likely, chances are there's a cipher here or here, which is quite far, but there's either a cipher here or here. And regardless, they can rotate to one of them and cipher rush efficiently. The middle person always has the same job. Always has the same job. They do a middle, or if it's not possible, they they stay. The middle person will probably just stay on this side of the map, and they'll do middle ideally, or they might go corner house if this person does not intend to use it, or they might just do this cipher if it's possible according to this person's route. I mean, there's a lot there, but we went over a good amount. And if you go here, two ciphers can be blocked, two possible ones, not at once. This one or this one. Um, I mean, just naturally, these are farther than that. It's for some, that's just how it is. Um, and so the cipher block might not help the hunter here. It might block bushes. Um, it would only help if the survivor goes this way, but it's also very viable to cut into corner house and counter rotate, depending on where the hunter goes, of course. Um, if the hunter spawns here, usually it's pretty viable for this person to just go hood, because they are a mile away from the hunter. So if if they really want a smooth rotation with this survivor, they can also you can also do this. As you guys see, that rotation can be quite common. Or you can also just stick around this building and see where the hunter goes. And then if they chase you, they might chase you. Or if not, they might cut through middle, they might cut this way. Then you can do this cipher or this cipher, just like I mentioned last time. And once again, the person middle has the same job. They'll do this cipher, they'll do a middle, or they will do, um, they can also do hood. Obviously, everything has to make sense in the rotation and the kite. Um, we'll go over this, because this is also another common spawn. Um, obviously this is common, right? Hands down, this is the most common hunter spawn. The most common. So we'll do that right now. This might be a viable kiter to chase, and the reason why they spawn here is to simply loop this house. And it's doable because the hunter spawns here, and you're basically looping him all the way around to make it to the strongest area in the game. Now, what does that mean? That obviously requires rotations. Cornhouse is most likely blocked. Most likely. I think this can also be blocked, one of these, but because of that rotation, people tend to rotate here. This person tends to rotate there. Once their loop is complete, then they start decoding. And because this person is also looping the building for the strongest area in the game, this person is probably not going to fuck with going this way whatsoever. This person will usually probably go this way and once again do this cipher or do this cipher. Do a middle, do this cipher or this cipher. They could go corner house, but once again that's far away. The person can also go corner house, but risk of a cipher block. There's a lot of potential here. And I brought this up with a kiter, a viable kiter here. Another common thing is when a rescuer spawns here. Now, why would a rescuer spawn here? Because people might not understand why. The rescuer spawns here because they become the communication man between where the hunter goes from here or here. And they are also unchaseable. Now, because they're unchaseable, you can probably just straight up start decoding. And the reason why is because even though they're in the worst area of the map, like they don't want to go this way because that area might be occupied, right? So or this way, so they'll probably just loop this house because they don't expect to be chased, which makes sense. Now their cipher is always here, so their cipher will always start instantly. There's a guarantee of that. And when a survivor, if a hunter ever decides to cut through them, obviously they can't cipher rush immediately. But once again, they're the communication man, and these three can rotate accordingly. Obviously, it depends on the hunter spawn. Let's say the hunter decides to go here. Um, I mean, once again, this cipher can be blocked, or this cipher regardless. This person goes here. Once again, they can loop, the big house. This big house, I don't really have a certain um I don't have a certain name for it, but you can loop this house and go to the strongest area in the game. Sorry, map. Strongest area on the map. This person middle will just do middle. Once again, this person here can also start here if they really want to, because that cipher is never blocked from here, and that's instant cipher rush. They just have to be careful with what this person does middle. And this person can go here, can go here. Once again, risk of cipher block, or they can also go here. There's a lot of potential, guys. And once again, this is more of a rotation kite, a rotation spawn, which is not typical, to be honest. This is very not typical. The survivor can also go here and decode this cipher. So, strengths and weaknesses. There's always a cipher here, and the person that is here is unchaseable. And these people can just keep on rotating. And the hunter doesn't have certainty in where the hunter is. Sorry, the hunter doesn't have certainty in where the survivors are. Sorry. How have they spawn here? Same thing if a kiter's here, but if a rescuer's here, same thing. They'll call out depending on where the hunter goes. This time the survivor can actually cut in through here because um they're far from each other. They're very far. And they can stay here and just position accordingly, according to this person's communication. Same thing here. They can go here, do this cipher, do this cipher. Although one of these ciphers will be blocked guaranteed, so they might have to just stick around and get ready to do middle, depending on where they are, obviously. And then this person will always naturally go this way. There's almost no exception to this. Almost none, unless a rescuer is here, then they can like counter rotate in here and do this cipher. But if that's a kiter, they will always go corner house, and this person probably will stick around here, and this person can go this way. Or once again, there are many variations. This person can do the usual, go here or here, wait for the cipher, or this cipher, do one of them, and this person can go into OP corner depending on who it is. This person can also be the weakest kiter, and so they might just want to rotate into OP corner. This is a lot of rotation. Obviously, you guys see. Goes DX. I think it was Code 6 where he went through here to chase this kiter. There was a kiter here. This kiter can decode instantly, by the way. Once again, there's a cipher there, guaranteed. And if this person calls out, shit, what is that? If this person calls out that the hunter is going this way, then once again, the person can cut through, guarantee a good kite with OP corner. And yeah, so this middle person is the key to communication. I mean, this person, sorry, hunter can also go middle, and it'll push the survivor. It'll really push the survivor, and this survivor can rotate accordingly to corner house. They can also go bushes, and then this person here can also start rotating downward in preparation of getting chased, or to just simply, actually no, that would be the only reason, because even if they don't get chased, they're running to a cipher. So you guys see there's a lot of important, there's an important survivor that always has to call out where the hunter is on this map. And this person here will just do one of these ciphers. They can also go corner house. Once again, everything has to make sense. Go here. It doesn't make sense to go here. You probably have to stick around this area. Go here. Now it does make sense for this person to go wherever they want on this side of the map. It all has to make sense. Once again, same thing, but the survivor spawns here. Same thing. Rotation, I mean, cut through. Once again, hunter goes up because it's a kiter. They can do multiple things. They can go here, but this will cause a lot of rotation. So this person can also just run the corner house. Because this is the blocked cipher most likely. And then this person can just stick around here and do one of these ciphers, and then this person can rotate in according to the communication of this person. Once again, hunter goes here. This person will call it out. This person can probably stay here. Once hunter appears here, this person starts calling it out, probably a rescuer. And this person can probably just rotate around and also go into the strongest area in the game, in the map. Once again, this person here will probably stick around this side of the map. One of these ciphers has got to be, be able to be decoded. And if the hunter does go here, it's also possible for the survivor to go here, but that's usually not viable because this is a strong area. So the survivor will either stay here or just go up. And that's really how rotations go for the most part on this map. This is a rotation heavy map, and the map has gotten weaker over time with how strong hunters have gotten. So good stuff right there. Now we're gonna look at good old Moonlit. Good old Moonlit. What are the possible positions on this map? This one, 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 and this one. So yeah, that might be a surprise to you guys, but we're gonna go over why. And this might be a long one, low-key, but don't worry, we got this, we got this. So let's go over the first typical spawn. This is the most typical spawn of them all. Hunter can spawn here, hunter can spawn here, here, or here. Almost nothing else makes sense. Most common one's probably this one. Um, usually, one of these two ciphers is blocked, but this person might be able to still decode. The exception to this person being able to decode is if the cipher's here and there's a gok hiding, which in that case, gok hiding is blocked and this person can simply rotate here and decode very fast. That is the only downside as a hunter spawning here. That cipher block might not work in your favor, but regardless, this is that's how it is with cipher block. Now, I guess we can go over strengths and weaknesses very quickly. As I said, lawyer can spawn here. Very strong area for him. Rescuer spawns here because there is jack shit to kite here. It's like, where are you kiting here? If you can tell me, I'll gladly know. I'll gladly learn. But yeah, the rescuer spawns here usually. This is a basically a middle part of the map, and it's quite a staple to spawn there. This is a good kiter, good kiter, good kiter, good kiter. Now, Hunter might just chase here, and really, they can loop this. They can. For this area is very strong for sure for whoever spawns here, so it's very possible. Now, there's one downside that a lot of pros have learned with this spawn, and it's that on this map, no matter what, you have three ciphers on this side, one cipher here, and three ciphers on this side. Now, the thing is, no matter what spawn you do, you're always going to have two survivors and one survivor on the other side. You can also do this. You can do two and a one, but that's not very likely. That is just not likely. It also doesn't make sense with this cipher. So you can have a cipher pop, cipher pop, cipher pop. Um, Person here rotates to one of the next ciphers on this map, aka the third one, the last one on this side of the map, and this person has to rotate to this side of the map. And usually it's hard for the survivor to go on ahead and die on this side of the map where all the ciphers are popped. That has become an issue um, in the pro scene with Sangria. And how is it compensated? How do we minimize that weakness? The rescuer spawns here. Now it's quite simple, really. Nothing changes except this cipher is still here. And instead, there's a cipher popping here. So now you have two ciphers right here. You have one cipher here, and then three ciphers one cipher here. So it's a nice split once you get to the end game. Um, that's how that's how pros have decided to minimize that weakness when it comes to this map. Now, once again, this is still a popular spawn. Same thing. This might be blocked. This might be blocked. Sorry, this might be blocked or might not be blocked. Let's just assume it's blocked because that's harder. Survivor does bridge. And even though um no matter what, the compensation comes from rotating. In order to not get three ciphered, you're compensating by rotating. Even if the rescuer spawns here, even if the rescuer spawns here, they can also go here and just do 10. The thing is, you don't want a rescuer cipher to be behind. So usually you'd rather this person go here and this rescuer just decodes there. It's also very perfect if the hunter decides to chase here, because then the rescuer is right there, and they probably will die somewhere around here. And so surface is normal. To do two-story, if it's not there, do this one or do this one. It is also possible that, let's just say you spawn a rescuer here. It's also very possible that if a hunter chases here, two-story person will also go do third stop. That is very possible. Once again, trying to minimize that weakness, even though it reduces Sephiroth rush. Teams do this. Teams do this. So I mean, yeah. There are other spawns like, for example, this one. Rescue obviously spawns here because there ain't no kiting area here, bro. I think everyone knows that. And this really helps this kiter because they can take roller coaster to second stop, to third stop, and they can go on ahead and kite there. There's some unique strategy with that, but usually it's just this. Teams were very used the roller coaster a lot against hunters that just walked, like wax artists, like Bonbon. But now we've got hunters like Sangria Ivy. The roller coaster is not as effective. They've decided to just simply kite. Now, hunter goes here. It's quite simple. Just decode instantly, and this person is actually quite in a bit of trouble. There might not be a cipher for them to do. They might have to go here to cipher rush here if there's a cipher here. There might be a cipher there. Or otherwise, they'll just have to wait. Because god kiting they cannot do. They also can do god kiting, but this depends obviously on this person's rotation. This person might want to go here, rotate to stay away from god kiting, or go here, rotate. They can also go straight for the first stop, and obviously this person has to rotate accordingly, depending on where the hunter goes and where the kiter's going. So, I mean, yeah, it's really this one is rather simple. I will explain why hunter spawn, sorry, survivor spawn here. It's simply for like Cypher Rush. Like maybe a rescuer might want to spawn here for whatever reason, and if I spawn here or here, sorry, my shit should be red. It really doesn't matter which Cypher's blocked. They'll spawn closer to an available Cypher, and it's vice versa for this one. That is would be the purpose of it, but this can also ruin the kiting route and add way more variables than they want, so people might just do this instead. So, so I mean, yeah. Also, once again, this is becoming very popular. The Let's just say I spawn here. Um, yeah, I chase here. Survivor goes there. This person can probably just loop two-story or go into this area which just broke. Very good kiting area. Now, obviously, there's different spawns like this one, where obviously this person's getting chased. Now, it's just a slightly different route. It's obviously different. It might catch them off guard. But I want to clarify something that pros have also been doing. They're spawning a kiter here, the weakest kiter here, and they're spawning the rescuer here. Now, how does this make any sense? In theory, it doesn't, because tent is not a great area to kite in. But if a kiter is here, they are banking on either them not getting chased. When would they not get chased? Is if the hunter spawns here. It's very unlikely to go here because the hunter will just not know where they are. This is half a map away, and the hunter simply might not take that chance. Now, really, it's only an issue if the hunter spawns here. And what pros are taking their chances with is hiding. This is quite a viable hiding spot. There's just a lot of walls there. So someone might hide there, generally speaking. And not only, obviously, hiding is a risk, but not only does this cover the three cipher lockdown issue of Moonlit, the weakness, this also gives them a chance for their strongest decoder or weakest kiter to not kite. And that's always nice to have. a seer could be here, a prisoner could be here, survivors that are strong when they're not chased. That help the team a lot, and that would be the purpose of it. But otherwise, these are the typical spawns of Moonlit. There's not much else to bring up. I'm excluding Ivy from spawn selection because there's a lot of variables that go into that. But I mean, this was actually quite simple. Rescue my spawn here for roller coaster strategy, a unique strategy. Otherwise, the comfort, the typical is this. This is it right here. First stop roller coaster can buy time, or you can go god kiting. Same thing, two-story. You can go loop two-story or go god kiting. These are very strong areas. You probably don't go here. That's probably dumb for the most part, unless it's a unique strategy. Person always stays here. There's nowhere else to go. This area is strong, and the rescuer just does their cipher. That was actually quite simple. All right. Let's go over Arms Factory. This is quite a poor image, but we're gonna work with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the most common survivor spawns. There's a mix, there's variations. Also this, I forgot this. I certainly forgot this. Let's go through it very quickly. Not very quickly. Let's just go through it. I don't want this to be too long, but we still want to get through this. Um, let's begin with something as simple as this. Now, it's quite simple. Shack is very strong on arms. This area is also quite strong and can be utilized. This is also strong. This area is also strong as well. Now, this survivor can be a kiter typically, and they go up or down depending on where the hunter spawns, or they just start on that cipher and decode it. Regardless, they go to a strong area. Now, same thing here. Go up or go down depending on where this hunter spawns. I will say this hunter spawn is rare. This is rare. You'll see this, you'll see this, you'll see this before this one. Certainly. Yeah, let's just start hypothetically or theoretically breaking this down. Let's begin with where the rescuer might spawn. The rescuer really, as you guys can tell, really patches up on map's weakness. Now on this map, there's not that many weaknesses. This map is very strong. If a rescuer is middle, they can just decode middle. There might be two middle, there might be one middle, or maybe zero, but usually there's a middle cipher there, usually. And they will just decode it. If there's a kiter here, you can just go here and kite here. You'll just kite there. That's a good area. If not, the hunter might go here. Then you can decode right there, or just go here and start decoding. Now I want to explain another spawn that I've seen, and that is the rescuer spawning here. What is the point of a rescuer spawning here? Or here as well, but I want to explain this. Um, you, I think almost guaranteed. I'm pretty sure the cipher here is guaranteed. So the purpose of a rescuer spawning here is to instantly decode. The hunter will likely not waste their time going here. Otherwise, the survivors will know and they'll just cipher rush. But a rescuer does spawn here on a guaranteed cipher in order to cipher rush immediately. Now, once again, the rotations are simple. If a hunter spawns here, they want to go up or down. Sorry, they usually go up or left to just chase their target. That's quite a simple spawn. Let's go with this one. This cipher is blocked. This cipher is blocked. So survivor usually goes this way. Sorry, no, there are multiple ways to do this, guys. There's multiple ways. If the hunter goes here, a survivor can do this cipher, and this survivor will rotate this way and the survivor will rotate this way. You're rotating according to the hunter's position. It's very possible that you also go here and simply put this person just decodes one of these, rotates here. This person can go here or here in order to decode. Um, it's possible that the hunter goes here as well because you can trap the survivor. So once again, it's not no longer viable to go here. So you would go here, just decode here, and then the person middle just does middle. Once again, you rotate accordingly. And that it really is as simple as that. Um, the hunter spawns here. Really, their only viable target is they can probably just want to chase here if they spawn there. So factory's always blocked from there. There's no way a survivor goes here, and there's also no way a survivor goes here unless this is a weak target. In that case, they can decide to hide factory. But a survivor guaranteed has to stay in this area. If they don't, they're not safe rushing. Person middle just stays middle. They might also rotate into shack. This person um, might want to kite here, and this will run into their cipher. So it's also possible to run into shack immediately and start the kite immediately there in order for this person to cipher rush. But that is how it goes with these spawns now. I want to go over a very popular ranked spawn, and that is this. Let's go over one of the most probable spawns is spawning here. This is blocked, so the survivor goes up and does this cipher. Or maybe the kiter wants to kite here, so that's not viable. In that case, the survivor goes here. Or the survivor goes here and does middle. You just have to rotate. That is the downside to this. The good side to this is this kiter, whoever it is, maybe it's a decoder. They're safe. They're likely not gonna go all the way over here. It's very improbable because the hunter's not certain on where you are, so you can just decode instantly. This person middle might want to get out of middle so that this person has a cipher to do, so they might go ahead and do sandbags, or they might counter rotate into shack. That's basically it. Right here, the spawn is here. Either this is blocked, or this is blocked. These three, and always this one is priority. So this survivor is very far. They just rotate according to where the available cipher is. This person just does middle. It might be a rescuer usually. It could be a rescuer. Um, and usually the two kiters here, these are two kiters. So if the hunter spawns here, they're trying to have a choice between two. And these two are spawning in areas, good areas. So this person has to rotate a little. This person might have to move a little bit in case the hunter goes this way. But regardless, these two start decoding instantly if they're not chased. If one of them is not chased. Or if neither are chased, then they just decode instantly. That's the benefit of this. There's a chance that you can just decode instantly in Set Rush. Um, and that's really about it. I mean, a hunter can spawn here as well. And this either blocks this or this. And this will always be blocked if it's there. Otherwise, it's shack. And so if a hunter spawns here, they probably want to choose between here and here, assuming the rescuer is middle. And in that case, they push this way, and everyone else can just decode instantly. Or hunter pushes this way, and everyone decodes instantly. Once again, they go shack or sandbags. It might be blocked, but you guys rotate and set rush accordingly with the spawn. And last spawn is here. Now, it's very, when you look at a hunter spawn, you think, why are they blocking the cipher? It probably does not make sense. So, this person can just decode instantly. This person can decode instantly. Rescue if, unless they go this way, obviously. And then they have to start calling out if the hunter goes this way, which in that case, um, there might not be a big rock, and this is blocked. So the survivor one might want to kite here, so they might want to start their route this way. And then if the hunter is going otherwise to another way, the survivor goes here and starts cipher rushing. Otherwise, the hunter will go here. And in that case, everyone cipher rushes. And that is really it for the spawn. One more spawn I would say is right here. Um, Once again, the hunter can spawn here or here. Let's just go with this very quickly because this is quite common to just block factory. Um, it's the same thing as I said with the kiter here. Maybe the kiter here wants to decode here or here, but regardless, this person has to go here because they're safe. They're very far. And middle does the same thing. It's all the same except this person has to rotate. The spawn, the spawn has to be, you have to be a little careful. This is the same thing if I were to go here. In terms of the middle person cipher rushing and this person cipher rushing. But when the hunter goes here, you have to be careful that, and this is why this spawn doesn't occur often. Um, if you go here immediately, you're pushing the survivor um, this way. You're pushing the survivor this way, and then you have to push this person off an available cipher to a blocked cipher or middle, and that's not what you want. Or the hunter might book it this way, and the hunter survivor will just have to run into the hunter and the kite start their kite here. Obviously, there's a balance required. So that's why it's not so common, and that's probably the only spawn remaining. There's really no other spawn that you would do on this map. Let's go over Red Church. This is quite a simple map, I would say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you spawn anywhere else, you're basically done my match. So, um, that's because this is quite a simple map. Like, you know, as long as the rotations are right, everything else just has to do with the kite. Now let's go over the spawn. This is quite a common spawn, and I want to explain the thought process when it comes to that. You guys have to remember, Red Church is not very there's not a lot of there's not a lot of depth. There's not a lot of unique strategy when it comes to the spawn selection itself. This, for the most part, um, this is what you'll see in tournaments. So let's begin with the person that spawns here. Now, let's remember wedding spawns, I think, most of the time. There's an off chance that it's not there, but most of the time it's there. That's why this is a good spawn for Cypher Rush, but who typically would spawn here? It is a rescuer. Wedding sucks as a kiting area. You know, you're not gonna stay here and kite. There's kiting, the route's awful. If a hunter were to spawn here and chase you, and you're, I don't know, seer or acro, you're probably just gonna run here, and then you might end up running here as well. So a lot of survivors in tournaments really spawn the rescuer here. Most of the time the cipher is there, they'll just spawn on the cipher instantly and just decode it. Because they're an unchaseable, they can work with this area even if they are a rescuer. Now, what's next are these three kiters. These three. Now, once again, there's not a lot of rocket science with this. This is literally like, okay, you're gonna kite. You have to kite. Um, these two are the most typical spawns. Actually, I'll add in two more. These two. Now, it really just depends on where the hunter spawns, where you can rotate and kite and Cypher Rush. So, I mean, if the hunter spawns here, um, and he goes up, the hunter goes up, the kiter can either kite here, or they could also make their way to shack. Those are some possibilities. If the hunter is to spawn here, the block cipher is either back gate or graveyard. Whichever one is not blocked, the survivor goes to it and decodes. Whichever area is available, that'll determine survivor rotation as well. As an example, a hunter might want to go here, chase the person middle. I want to clarify, the person middle is typically the weakest survivor on the map, or at least a survivor that can certainly kite if they're chased in church, because church is quite a strong area to loop. Now, once again, what if the hunter decides to take this route? The hunter decides that they can go back gate or graveyard or loop church or go to shack, depending on what is available and what this person does. That's very possible. They might just go to this window and go graveyard because it's blocked. No one's there. That's a kiting area. um, the reason why this person seems protected, I'll explain why. One, two, three. There are three pathways that easily lead into church, that easily give you line of sight inside of church. One, two, three. They are protecting the entrances. So the hunter, once again, is not certain of where this person is, even if they book it to them. They're just not certain. And that is why this is quite a popular spawn, because this person is well protected. Now, Cypher is quite simple. Once again, if the Cypher is not here, the hunter can the survivor can probably just go here. Um, once again, these rotations are actually quite simple. Once again, if the hunter's here, survivor can go here, or they just start decoding the cipher instantly, which is probably what will happen. Once again, the survivor can rotate accordingly. Um, this survivor will always be pushed this way, always, unless they like hide, and then the hunter, they can decide to go here. And in that case, once again, the survivor can loop church, loop shack, and maybe go back gate unless the survivor is there. It's very possible that the survivor can go book it downward because he went somewhere else. That's very possible. If the survivor is chased, they just work with back gate, they work with shack, or maybe they go back to graveyard and work around there because the rescuer is wetting. So that can certainly work. Cipher that is blocked is it's either shack if there's no broken over here, which I don't even know if that's possible, or it's always just going to be one of the broken ciphers that are here. And so that's not really a problem for survivors. You spawn right here. There's probably always a cipher here. Not always, but usually, or they can just rotate down and immediately cipher rush. Now, I'll go to another common spawn. Let's start with the spawn, right? And let's first off begin with where the rescuer spawns, usually here. The reason why the rescuer spawns here is because this area itself is not great. Now, the reason why a rescuer may not spawn here when someone is wetting, when the rescuer is wetting, is because they have this area, but then they can also go shack and maybe back gate. Right here, you're being pushed downward to this entire area, or you might have to go wedding, or you might have to go church because this area is bad. But someone spawns church. You see where the weakness comes in when a kiter spawns here. It is minimized by a rescuer spawning there. Now it's very simple. The rescuer literally just decodes this, or usually they go up to the counter rotate to the survivor, depending on if they're literally unchaseable like wildling. Now, most obvious rotation is this way. Obviously, graveyard is always blocked. There is no exception because graveyard is always there. Graveyard is always blocked, which means if the survivor wants to kite this way, they have to rotate to wedding or do middle open if it's there. The person middle will always just begin middle, unless maybe the survivor wants to kite to middle church. Then they won't decode there because then they'll be interrupted. Maybe the survivor here wants to kite shack and then rotate into middle church. In that case, a survivor is then allowed to just decode this cipher right here. They won't be interrupted. They're not going there. They're going staying shack or church. And then the person middle will either do a number of things they can do, but regardless, they have to rotate. They can do wedding if it's there. They can also go top broken if it's there, and middle broken if the rotation and the comms allow for it, and if this person goes up or down, which down wouldn't make sense, so up wouldn't make sense. Remember, all of this has to be according to the hunter rotation and the communication. Regardless, this all still has to be top notch. Top notch rotation. Once again here, the survivor can still go up or down. The rescuer, I mean. This person can honestly loop church or kite to graveyard. Rotation is the same. You go up here. This person's shack can stay here. There might be a cipher here, or they go to bottom broken. Those are some very quick rotations, and once again, this is a rather simple map, and the rescuer is definitely like a staple in this. I think you guys understand that weakness is a staple. And right here, same thing. Either this cipher is blocked or this cipher is blocked. Most of the time, this is blocked, but there's a slim chance that this is also blocked, which means there's no cipher here, which means the survivor is forced to go up here, aka the rescuer. Uh, which means the cipher block almost doesn't matter here, as same as when the hunter spawns here. Now, if you're spawning here, you're probably you want a favorable chase target. So you either go down or left. There's really nothing to complicate about this. Regardless, this person does graveyard or back gate or middle open. This person does shack or back gate or bottom broken. And then middle church, same thing. With these spawns, wedding is always viable to go ahead and do. So that's what you'll do with this spawn. Now I'm gonna. There's also this spawn. Now, as I said, this is a more attractive spawn for a hunter as opposed to this, because here I can comfortably see in church. And not only that, survivor is forced up here or up here. Obviously the rotations have to be go well accordingly. This person does the same thing. It does not matter. If you're wondering about the cipher block locations, it can be shack, which is rare. It can also be back eight, and it can also be bottom broken. It'll be one of these three. Um, Now you obviously have to rotate accordingly. Usually, if they decide to go in church, this person goes down and does that cipher. Um, they can loop church or they can go to back gate, which in that case, this person has to stay here and decode or go about unbroken and decode. That is how the rotations will go. And there's really no other way to spawn on red church. These are the two most viable and the two simplest. And really what matters is the ability to kite on this map. This is probably the most common spawn. There's the weakest kiter usually takes factory. This is the strongest area in the game. Typically, another kiter spawns middle to be able to enter the strongest area in the game. Sorry, when I say game, I always mean map, by the way. I always mean map. And there's usually a kiter here that holds their own in this area. And then this is usually a rescuer, and they decode this cipher, either this cipher, or this cipher. Obviously, depends on where the hunter spawns. But this is the typical spawn, and you'll see hunter spawn here. Hold on. See hunter spawn here, here, or here. So let's just go over such a spawn like this. This map is very big once again, so it's very unlikely that a hunter will go for the person middle because they can be rotating away. They can be rotating literally anywhere, so that is unlikely. The person shack, however, will probably stay there because it is such a nice spawn when the cipher just spawns inside because you spawn on the cipher instantly, and that's always nice to have as a survivor. So if a hunter ever spawns here, they probably always intend to chase the weakest survivor on the team comp, which could be a lawyer, it can be a composer, it can be a seer. You guys get the gist, right? This is minimizing the weakness of their. They don't kite as strong as other kiters, so they are placed in the strongest area on the map to compensate for it. Once again, they probably intend to go this way and chase if they do spawn there. Now let's switch it up. What if they spawn here? Hunter can do a number of things. Obviously, this person would just stay decoding. They will either go here or here, most likely. Here, this is unlikely because factory is blocking line of sight. You're not certain where this person is, but you know for certain because someone wants to spawn middle and enter factory, they will be rotating. For Cypher Rush, they might go here or they might go here. So the first hunter instinct is this way or this way. Now hunters might just want to chase this person middle. They should have might just want to chase, and then they also might want to chase Shack. This is what happens typically, but once again, remember guys, there is a rescuer here, and these are kiters. That's how it goes. Let's say if the rescuer is here, which is quite rare, but it happens in rank. If there's a rescuer here and there's a kiter here, kiter, you guys get it on the other boxes. The hunter, once again, probably won't go here. They might cut through rescuer to try to look for this person. It is possible. Depending on the hunter, you might be able to find them or not. That's not highly probable. And then right here, once again, Shack is very likely. Um, you're very likely to find the person Shack, so the person here might kite. Most likely will kite. Most likely. And that's really the hunter's options. That's what they have. Those are the options the hunter has. So once again, if the hunter spawns here, they probably intend to chase here. I did forget to include the cipher block when as I've been speaking, but the cipher block isn't really does not really hurt here or here. It really does not hurt. Um, so However, this could hurt, and I'll explain. There's one cipher layout where this is blocked. Then in that case, this survivor runs this way, or this survivor runs this way. This is the only time that a cipher block with this spawn truly, like, you need the survivors to rotate. That's the only cipher layout. This is the only spawn. And in that case, survivor goes this way or that way. And this depends on where this person goes, and it also depends on where this person goes. The person middle might go this way. So then the survivor would have to go this way, and then the survivor would have to go up and counter rotate. Everything has to be accordingly. Everything has to be on the same page and make sense for Cypher Rush. Now, once again, if the person here is hunter spawns here, they probably intend to go here and kite, chase this person, which they're not likely to hide. So you're probably kiting if this is the spawn. It's very so unlikely that a hunter goes this way to look for the factory survivor. They will, they will always know in advance. And then this survivor, it is possible. It's just you're spawning middle. You don't know where the survivor is going either. So hunters might take their chances and chase Shack, which could be it can be a cord. It can be a fucking patient Finn. Dude, I'm trying to write and I just cannot. I just cannot. Maybe it's better this way. Yo, patient Finn. This can be acro, cord. Once again, you guys get it. Um, that's really how it is here. There's really no other type of spawn. The only other type of spawn is here, which in this case it is the same thing. Um, it's just mirrored. This cipher, I'm pretty sure never gets blocked unless this one is not here, but this one usually is here, so it gets blocked. So this person decodes instantly. If the hunter spawns here, once again, they probably intend to go this way or go that way. Keep mixing up my colors. Um, Once again, this rescuer goes here or here. Probably not a kiter here because they will be forced to rotate into either this area, which is not the greatest, or they might go into factory, which someone is there, and that ruins Cypher Rush. Um, Once again, same thing. It's right here. This cipher here is usually blocked. Usually, it'll be very rare that Shack is blocked. This is very rare, and this is why it's a very popular spawn. Helps Cypher Rush a lot. Once again, this area is actually decent, but there's nothing else. So once again, very rare that this is a kiter. Very rare. And this person here will probably rotate somewhere around here to decode. And once again, the hunter is very far. They probably won't take the chance to find them. It is also possible to chase here, which in that case, nothing else really changes except this person kites here. They could also go here to kite, use factory, then go there to kite, but this person might want to go there. This person might also want to go here, or they might just want to stay middle. This kiter probably will just stick around factory. They might do a loop, or yeah, they might do a factory loop. They might cut back in, use back of factory. You guys get the Leo's memory loop. And then this spawn, which once again, rescuer goes to whichever cipher is not blocked. Shack is decoded instantly. Factory is decoded instantly. They will never be blocked. And then the hunter actually now has a choice between these three. And These three kiders have to be prepared. Obviously, once again, the person here will have to go into factory. Then in that case, this kiter probably rotates here, but it's less likely because there's a rescuer here. This is possible to go there, but they might also go want to go here. And then shack stay shack. There's nothing. If you guys have noticed, there's always two people messing with factory. There's a rescuer that can just decode whatever they want, and then shack. This person shack just stays around here and does one of the ciphers at the top side of the map. And that is really it with this map. It's not too sophisticated. The map is quite strong to kite in, so it is quite simple on Leo's memory. Let's go with Sacred. I think the ones that are left are Sacred and Eversleeping. So we're gonna start. It's kind of like Red Church where you don't complicate things and you just do one of these. This is usually what you do. Now let's go over it. Let's go over quite a common spawn. It's just this simply put. The rescuer spawns here so that we're chilling. So this map is very strong kiting area wise, right? This is by far the weakest part of the map. So you place the rescuer here. That's the simple logic, and there's always ciphers to do no matter what cipher is blocked. So rescuers here. This is the strongest area on the map. So this is probably a decoder, this is probably a seer, a weak kiter, and these are just normal kiters. Let's go over the spawns. Once again here, there are multiple possibilities with blocked ciphers, but in this case, it'll either be statue or it'll be ruins. Now, depending on that, um, the person might have to rotate all the way down here, or they will just stay ruins. They'll just stay ruins and decode there, because it's possible that a cipher is there unblocked, and they will just begin that. Now, if a hunter spawns here, this person is always forced up. Always. Based on the spawn they get, they are always forced to shack. So this person going here is not viable. It is not viable unless this is a rescuer. Once again, this could be a rescuer. So I'm assuming this is a kiter. And in this case, they kite here, and if this person is decoding ruins, they cannot go there, and they have to work with this area, or they have to work with this area, and they can also maybe go into birdcage if the cipher's there or not. Most survivors go into hospital, especially birdcage. That's a hot spot. To kite at least a little bit, even if the person is here decoding. It's also very possible that the person middle rotates out and does this cipher or this cipher, which in that case, this kiter can just go up. This kiter can just go up and then, I don't know, take a window speed boost and just go in and kite their life away here. That is very possible. We're here to explain all the possibilities. And yeah, I mean, those are a few. We're still assuming that the rescue is here, because this is, sorry, damn, there should be an R, because this is the worst kiting area on the map, even though it's still good. It's it's the worst kiting area on the map, and once again here, let's see what happens here. This is always blocked, one of these two. Maybe statue if these are in here, but this area, all they want, literally all they want. This person is forced to go here and maybe into hospital. And once again, this is where you can decide the middle person to do statue, or to go here and decode, but that's a risk because cipher can be blocked. But if the hunter decides to go here, this survivor is forced um, to utilize hospital in some way. Any other route they take, they will get destroyed because there's nothing here. There is, but it's not strong. There is absolutely nothing here, and there is stuff here, but you're temporarily going into the rescuer. So you can go to these weaker areas, interrupt the rescuer, or go into hospital and kite in the strong area. That's really how the rotations go here. And then this one, sorry, no way, I need to go back. Sorry. If the hunter goes here, because this is probably, wait, the most complicated Cypher Rush is if the hunter goes here. Actually, no, I'm kind of just spewing at this point, but like, I just wanted to explain what this survivor does. They always just do middle open, but if it's not there, they have to go up or down, and most likely up. Most likely to get that cipher done. There might not be enough sufficient ciphers here for this person to go down. So that would be how the cipher rush is with that person. Now, once again, we're still assuming the rescuer is here, and I'm actually going to explain why with this spawn. If there's a kiter here, they are forced. If there's a kiter here and there's a hunter going here, they are almost always forced to go into this survivor or go into birdcage. So to avoid that, you make the rescuer here. And this obviously is spawn dependent. But you guys see how a kiter here can be messed up in case they spawn here. In case the hunter spawns here. So once again, if the hunter spawns here, either this is blocked or this is blocked. This could be blocked, I think, but that is not likely whatsoever. Um, Once again, the person ruins just sticks around here. This is a strong area. The person middle can hide, can rotate. They could also maybe go shack, but that's also not like that can screw Sephiroth. So this person here will either go up or down, and this person cannot be interfering with that. So they most likely will just utilize hospital to the best of their ability, and rescuer once again just stays down here and decodes. I mean that's a very common spawn. You can also see this spawn. Same thing. Uh, this person can just do one of these ciphers. They're very far from the hunter. This person once again is almost always forced downward into this area, which is not the greatest, or if they want safety, into hospital birdcage, which is it makes their kite good, but they also interrupt cipher rush once again between this person and maybe this person, which if they decide to do this, then the person middle has to consider leaving and going middle or shack or this corner. It is not likely that they will be chased. And once again, if someone chases here, they can just use shack and then go to ruins, use ruins. Um, this person can either cut to statue or just go down here and decode down here. And that's really as simple as rotations go. And I guess we'll explain this one because it's quite common. Uh, Hands down, these are the two most used spawns. We're gonna take this one. This person will never spawn on a cipher. If this is the case, they will spawn on no cipher or on a blocked cipher. So this person is always forced down or stay here because it's always possible that the hunter goes this way. And so going here screws up a lot of things with cipher rush and rotation and kites themselves. Rescuer once again does the same thing. Just they decode. If this is a kiter, if that is a kiter, once again they will be forced up. That is the wrong color. They will be forced up or forced into birdcage, and it will interrupt other people. Um, so yeah, this is really how it is. This is quite common. So Kashak is a good area to kite and transition from, but let's say the hunter spawns here. They probably intend to chase this person. This person can just stay here. Whoops, I'm messing up. Stay here, decode. Middle can stay here or decode. Sorry, stay here and decode, but if this person will always have two choices. Go into birdcage, hospital, or go into ruins. And so if they want to go hospital, this person might have to consider rotating, making sure it's not one of the blocked ciphers. It can be statue, and it can be down here as well. So that has to be communicated, and it's almost very unlikely that a person here would rotate this way. This will really ruin cipher. So um, yeah, I mean the hunter might want to go here, and in that case, once again, if you spawn check, you're accepting that you're kiting shack and you're kiting here. And if the hunter does not go for you, if they go this way or this way, you would then decode check. If it's not there, they go down as usual. That is really how it goes on Sacred. Eversleeping. Let's start with the possible survivor locations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll never spawn here. That spawn is awful. There's nothing here. Oh wait, it is possible to spawn corner house. It is possible. This is never likely unless it's like an explorer exception, unique strategy. And there's literally nothing here. I mean, there's 11, but there's no benefit to spawning here. So this is a lot of spawns, but we can go over. We will do a basic. Let's just say the rescue is here. They will always literally decode instantly, always, unless the hunter spawns here, which we'll start with this. Hunter spawns here. This person will, sorry, the rescuer will always do probably shit corner. You can either do shit corner or middle, but they're probably gonna do shit corner. This person middle can rotate depending on where the hunter spawns, but person middle might have to go here into the block cipher, which doesn't seem efficient now that I think about it. But this could be a weak hider, so they might want to go here and rotate. There's really nowhere else. You could also go corner house, but this person is always forced here, always. So that's not always a viable option. Um, they could also, go here, get ready to kite, or if not, they just do middle themselves. There's a person here. They usually work with two-story, and they make through it a graveyard. I'm gonna emphasize graveyard. This is a very common kiting area that every player desires to reach. And this spawn is not really one of them. This is not the spawn, but the rotations are quite simple. Honestly, let's switch it to if this is a rescuer. If that's the case, the rescuer just does middle. Wait, let me put this back. Person goes here. Rescuer does middle, or if there's another corner house, or they might do two-story. Depending on where the hunter goes. If the hunter goes here, they probably intend to chase this person, so they could cut around. They could use two-story once again and go to graveyard. They could also utilize shit corner, but then that might interfere with this person that might have to decode here because this cipher's blocked, or they might have to go ahead and kite to the blocked cipher, which is very, very possible. Um, whoops, rescuer. Let's spawn the rescuer here. Sorry, the hunter here. Once again, this is blocked, so this person will either do the corner house or they will do the dragon gate, and they just have to be prepared if the hunter goes uh, into the middle, which will be communicated by the person middle. Um, this person here always is forced to graveyard, always, and they can just set fresh instantly. There's almost no exception to that. You cannot run here because this person might want to do it. Now, what Thunder goes here? I mean, it's quite simple. There's always a Dragon Gate. This person does Dragon Gate. This person does middle or two-story, middle or two-story, or even this corner house cipher that could spawn, but it's not likely because it could be blocked with this spawn. And then this person always does graveyard, no exception. And then the spawn, which is quite a common spawn. Graveyard is blocked. That is not viable whatsoever. So, what might the rotations be? This person can cut in and use corner house. That's possible, which in that case, this person can go ahead and do Dragon Gate. But this person might want to go here, which in that case, this is no longer viable, and they might want to do shit corner instead, or under two-story, which is a rare spawn location. This person will probably stick around and do this cipher if they're not chased, or this cipher, but most likely usually this cipher because it opens up rotation possibilities. Um, let's say the hunter goes here. Once again, the survivor can cut through here, do that cipher. I'm assuming this is a rescuer, by the way. I've been talking as if this is a rescuer. Rotate here, and this person has this whole area to the map. They could also try to go to graveyard. All this for optimal cipher rush. Once again, the rescuer's middle. I guess we'll include if the rescuer is here, because they're not getting chased. They will immediately just start this. That's the benefit. Always, they will always start alleyway. Um, there are numerous ways this can be played. This person can go Dragon Gate. Let's just say this person goes Dragon Gate because they go this way, I guess. Um, this person has to go shit corner and use this area, but this does hurt to this person. They might have to go shit corner, and in that case, middle cannot go here. So it might be. There's also another possible rotation of middle going to graveyard. Another possible rotation of this person going corner house, and then this person goes graveyard, gets prepared to kite if the hunter commits, right? If the hunter commits to the um, middle cipher, this person can go dragon gate or shit corner, and then this person here um, can go either direction, wait graveyard if there's some awful kiter, or they can also be prepared to do two-story or middle, depending on where the hunter goes, because eventually they have to make a decision. Go up here, or go up here, or just cut through the middle. Right? That's very sloppy, but that's really how it is. Now, this is where I'm going to explain of the most very weird but popular spawns. This is probably the most common hunter slash survivor spawn. And what is the purpose? You block graveyard. These two, depending on where the hunter goes, will always intend on going to graveyard. Always. It's possible that this person can go shit corner and do that cipher. If this person goes middle, this might be a rescuer. They'll just decode instantly here. Just decode instantly. And once again, this person middle might also want to go graveyard. So that's when this person is absolutely forced to go down. This person always stays here and decodes. They mess with Dragon Gate and they rotate up if the hunter is here, or go here if the hunter is anywhere here. And that's really how rotations go. Um, it's also possible the middle person can like cut here, but once again, it all depends on where the hunter goes. Another common spawn is right here. Now why? A strong kiter has to spawn here to compensate for spawning, usually spawning right next to the hunter. These are the two possible locations. They must stay here. And kite. So ideally this is the a strong kiter. Once again, these two will intend on going this way. Even though the cipher is blocked, they will be prepared to kite going that way. It is also possible, once again, that this person goes shit corner for cipher rush. Middle, this is usually and always a rescuer. There's no exception to this. The first spawn that we went over, there is an exception, but here, rescuer is always middle, always. They will stay middle, they will be the communication man, and they will either do middle, they'll do alleyway, or maybe two-story. That's really how it goes. This person kites here. Always, the hunter can do, I mean, numerous things. If they go middle, the rescuer can, cut through alleyway. The cornhouse person will just decode there. The cornhouse dragon gate will decode there. Unless the hunter goes here, then this person starts rotating out to graveyard. This person is also probably going shit corner. So they will just be prepared to kite and then also go graveyard. Or maybe not graveyard. Um, because it's very possible that the hunter will go up to this person and rotate into a cornhouse where the striver is. Once again, these two spawns are very popular so that you go to graveyard where the cipher is usually blocked. Now, once again, if you're here as a hunter, you go. Survivor always goes here, no exception. Always. There might be an exception if the cipher is blocked. Either one will be blocked, it's not certain. Actually, wait, I'm pretty sure it is certain. Shit corner is always here, which means that I'm pretty sure is always blocked. So, um, with this hunter spawn, once again, same thing. Corner house, they just decode there. You see how getting chased instantly for Cypher Rush. That is what we learned a lot on Lakeside and how that map has evolved. This person middle will do the same thing middle. They will do middle. They might do corner house depending on if the hunter is chasing this person or not. This person almost always does graveyard, but it's possible that the hunter will not chase this person. So then this survivor might go here, but then they're allowed to cut back and do dragon gates. And then this person can do graveyard because it's not blocked. It's very possible, probably 99%, that this cipher is blocked and that they go here, that's cooked cipher rush. They could also do two-story if it is there. And that's really how it is with this spawn. I would say probably the final spawn that I'll go over is this one because it's quite popular too. Um, a survivor spawns here so that it's not very easy for the hunter to block graveyard without it being easy for them. So these are probably the most common spawns. I did forget to mention that when kiters spawn here, a hunter spawning here is viable because usually the person that spawns here is the weakest kiter. This person is protected right now. Why? This is because they immediately begin their kite graveyard if the hunter spawns here. That's the strong setup. And if they spawn anywhere else, this person is not likely to be found. That is the idea. So I did forget to bring up this spawn. And once again, this person, no exception, is stuck going graveyard. Absolutely no exception. This person will always do Dragon Gate. Middle will always either do middle or they could go here alleyway, and this person can also do middle if there is no corner house. Otherwise, they will do corner house. It's possible there are two corner house ciphers. And that's really how the rotations are. It's quite simple because usually this hunter only has one intention, and that is to go chase this person up here. But it is possible that they go Dragon Gate, so this person does have to be ready. And they will go to corner house if the person is not there, or they will have to cut through middle um, and kite accordingly, depending on where the middle person is. They could be here, they could be here. So that's really how it is. And now we're going to go back to this spawn, where once again it is the same thing, except now this person can go down and do that cipher. This will never be blocked. And same thing, this person does Dragon Gate. If they're chased, they can go corner house. This person is always forced to graveyard. If they spawn here, quite common. If they go middle, it depends on which middle they decide. If they go here, this person has to be ready to kite, and they just do Dragon Gate. This person does graveyard. You know, straight corner is probably always blocked from there, so it's probably never an option. And this person does middle, or two-story can be combined. Can be decided between one of these two, and they could also do the Cornell cipher. Um, Thunder goes here. This person will probably just be ready to do corner house because it's always available. This person has to be ready to kite. Sorry, this person has to always be ready to kite. Going to graveyard. And this person might be forced to shit corner, but the hunter, depending on what they do, the survivor is allowed to go back here and cipher rush, and this person can utilize graveyard. Obviously, depending on where the hunter is, you know. If the hunter's here and this person calls it out, this person is free to go back, usually, and this person has to be prepared to kite graveyard or shit corner. That's a choice. It's just shit corner is blocked, so that has to be taken into account. And the final spawn is this one. Once again, this is usually a kiter. This is probably the weakest kiter, and this is just a kiter that can kite, or weakest kiter as well, if they would just want graveyard. Right here, obviously, this person goes up. Always, there's no exception. No exception. You're running up to a kiting area, and if you're not chased, there's a cipher right there available to you. This person just starts decoding instantly until the hunter gets to a certain point in the map where they might have to There might be in a dangerous situation, so they might have to transition a graveyard. Obviously, a hunter would spawn here to block graveyard, so this person is almost always forced to work around this area shit corner or two-story if they go graveyard. This can cuck Cypher Rush. This person will either do middle or two-story. They could also like kind of rotate into alleyway. There's a lot that can be done here, but Dragon Gate, this person is the safest person on the planet if the hunter decides to spawn here. You guys see how a hunter goes one way and everyone just rotates accordingly. So that's really how it is on this map. And that is actually the final map.
Chinatown Sangria, they have a decoder, they have two kiters, and they have a rescuer. Let's see where they spawn. This is actually a unique strategy. Now let's see how this spawn makes any sense. Prisoner was given the strongest area on the map. On top of that, two people are spawning right next to him so that the hunter does not or is not able to. So they're putting the weakest kiter in the team comp on the strongest part of Chinatown, and they're protecting Prisoner with a rescuer and a kiter. Now let's dive deeper. Now Wildling cannot be chased, so they're spawning him hood on a cipher that is always going to be there. That cipher is guaranteed. So that is very nice cipher rush, but let's theoretically change that. And what if the cord was actually there? If cord is there, they can actually get chased, and they're either gonna have to rotate into prisoner on that strong area in the map to be able to kite, or they will move up to bushes, which is not a good area whatsoever. So wilding there makes a lot of sense. Meanwhile, cord is at the bottom. They probably have a route for cord, and if they are going to OP corner, this kind of ruins the cipher rush and protecting prisoner. Cord might as well Cord might just go to um damn, I don't know, market. We call it market. So from here they'll go left. And because you can't really spawn anywhere to block a cipher, Patient Cornhouse makes sense because Patient can also kite there. Otherwise, he'll just spawn on a cipher and decode, just like Wildling. So there can be a lot of rotation between Cord and Prisoner depending on what the hunter wants. The hunter can might just want to chase Patient Cornhouse, which is obvious, but this game, in actuality, Jama really wants that prisoner and does not end up finding him. Another example on Moonlit, this is the typical spawn, but untypical in terms of where survivors are spawning. What is this? So, okay, so I think first officer, okay, definitively fourth stop. Now, how does this make any sense? First officer is most likely not getting chased, or that's a 3 in 5 million cipher kite. So what does that solve? That solves the 3 cipher lockdown that Moonlit can have on the left side of this map. Now the only caveat is a cord in bridge. How does a cord kite there? I am not sure, but if a cord is spawning there, that must mean that they are able to kite there somehow. This also definitely throws off the hunter, as on a big map, you are not likely to chase someone that you do not spawn right next to, especially on Moonlit. As an example, right here. I forgot who the hunter is, but they're probably not going to chase Coordinator. They're not going to go that far for Coordinator. Now, if I was the hunter here, I would predict everything is normal except Acker would be fourth stop because he's pretty good there, and Cord would be two-story, or Gardener would be first stop. You're not. There's no certainty, but like you can predict where someone might be based on the character, which is Acro. Acro makes sense to be fourth stop. Lakeside, Merc, Batter, Embalmer, and Arrow. I'm not sure who the hunter is, but this is a typical spawn. It is a wax artist. Okay. So there's really only two chase targets you want to go for. You want to probably take advantage of the fact that Batter and Merc have slow decoding, so you're going to bank on Arrow or Embalmer spawning all the way on the left, or as I think that's what Alex betted on. And this is quite simple. You have two desirable targets, and there are three areas they could be in: Shack, Big Bow, and on the left side, Small Bow. So you take your chance here with Shack and Little Bow, and you proceed to chase your target in here, which would be Arrow. Wax is not going to Big Bow and finding a damn Embalmer. Chinatown, Sangria, once again, what spawn is this? Let's see. Patient, Merc, Explorer, Gardener. Weak link is Explorer. You do not want Explorer to be found. And so Explorer is on the bottom, protected by Gardener and Merc. So Explorer is in a spot where he's likely not to be found. Gardener is in a strong kiting area, and Patient is in an area where he should be able to kite. Merc is the communication man, calling our Sangria is, and Gardener will move to Hood if the Cypher OP corner is blocked. Now, I can tell you the hunter's perspective without that hunter having to tell me. They just want to chase Patient. Patient or Gardener can either one of them can be on the left side, but Patient is typically on the left side. So the weak link is Explorer. They're protecting him and they're placing two kiters in areas where they will spawn. And Merc is just middle, being the calm man. Over a lot of typical spawns, a lot of spawns that seem typical based on the map, but weird depending on the team comp, such as first officer, fourth stop. That is not typical. I don't think anyone really analyzes spawn selection thoroughly, and it's because it's theory. Like, spawn selection is really about theory. If we take the prisoner example, prisoner was OP corner and was protected by two people so that the hunter wouldn't spawn next to them. That on paper, aka theory, they should not be getting chased, they should not be getting found. Which it is a fact that exact game prisoner was not found. And we'll remain on this example when we go into our important takeaways, which, as I said, we've analyzed the game from a theoretical standpoint, but that does not always translate to reality. They gave Prisoner every advantage to not get found, and there is still a possibility that he will get found. So, why do teams really put time and effort into such a unique strategy? Because I know no one has seen that before. It is simply about probability. They give every advantage to Prisoner, and that makes it more probable that he will not get found. More generally, if you create a counter comp versus Sangria, you are more likely to tie/beater. That'll be it for you all. Guides are very hard to make. Guides are also very long, can be very long, such as this one. But I hope you guys truly learned something from watching at least 20 minutes of it. There are a lot of guides I can make, but I am not sure how many I can dish out as I have a lot of other responsibilities. So one day you'll probably wake up and just see a guide from me. I will not. I might spoil a little, but that's how it'll be. Remember, guys, I coach players in this game as well, along with Schmidty. So if you are interested, I promise you I will give you the most that I can, and Schmidty will as well if you are a survivor or a hunter. Thank you, and I will catch you guys in the next video.